And welcome back, everyone. So, as you know, schools reopened yesterday. We do have on the line at this time the president of the Trinidad and Tobago Unified Teachers Association, Mr. Martin Lumpkin. Mr. Lumpkin, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Hopkinson. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, Mr. Lumpkin, well, you and your team would have had at least 24 hours to analyze how things went yesterday concerning the reopening of schools. What's your assessment?
Well, we are saying that we go through this every year. Reopening of school during the vacation period, you're supposed to have repairs and so. And this year, we attempted to get information from the Ministry of Education in terms of the vacation repair program. We sent correspondence on the 15th of August, 2023. And up until the reopening of school, we did not get any information. We got information from the media that the Minister of Education would have put out statistics and information. We would have gathered information from our members yesterday, and we would have had a number of schools, 6 really, that didn't reopen. That's in Trinidad, and approximately 2 in Tobago. We are not satisfied fully of what took place because the majority of schools would have reopened, yes, but we are getting reports of infrastructural issues that still plague a number of schools. These schools are aging schools, and we believe that the attention and care that is given to schools are not what it should be. There are a number of instances where repairs would have started late. We understand the Ministry of Education's challenge when it comes to finances, and even the recently procurement legislation. However, the Ministry of Education had ample and sufficient time in order to get its house in order. The Ministry of Education also is an arm of the Government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, and as such should have been able to secure the funding in a timely manner. And so we are glad that a number of schools are open, the majority. However, whenever there are schools that don't reopen, that brings no joy to TTUTA, because we do not want any, students to be left behind.
Well, according to the Ministry of Education, Mr. Lumpkin, 0.4% of schools with extensive repair works did not open today, that was yesterday, due to works being completed. And this is according to the minister. 0.6% of schools opened on rotation due to extensive repair works being completed. In all cases except one, repair works are carded to be completed during the course of this week. So some of the statistics sent out by the Education Ministry yesterday.
Yes, and when you look at the number of schools that we have, over 600, and the amount of schools that were affected by repairs not reopening, you take that and you look at the statistics. It looks small, and that's what persons can do in order to make their point. And as you know, statistics can be manipulated in certain ways. However, the fact that there are schools that are not going to be opened, that in itself brings some level of discomfort to our members as well as to the students. And I want to make this point very clear and upfront, Mr. Hopkinson. When it comes, because the minister spoke about a hybrid or online system, TTUTA will not support online at this point in time. Let me make it clear. Because we are still in negotiations concerning the online engagement and the online platform, we have said to the Ministry of Education in the past that online engagement cannot be an ad hoc system, and you cannot put on online just like a switch, turn it on and turn it off. We need to have clear guidelines. I can point out one school in particular, the Sisters Road Anglican, which would have had online this year, last academic year into this academic year, because the school was condemned. And they have seen a 10% attendance of the students. It's because the students are affected by the not being able to get connectivity properly. And so they have seen that the learning and teaching have been affected by this online. And so we are saying upfront to say that, yes, schools cannot reopen and you want to go online. We cannot just switch so, Mr. Hopkinson, and Trinidad and Tobago. The online engagement has to be clear, and there must be guidelines in order for it to happen.
Mr. Lumpkin, yesterday I was speaking to your representative in Tobago, and as we discussed this whole reopening of school, doesn't it give the impression sometimes, or the perception sometimes, that we're really spinning top in mud? Because we know when the school term is going to begin. We know that. So then what's the delay in certain schools being reopened? What's the delay in getting refurbishment works done? It would seem that every year, at the beginning of the school, every year, we're having the same discussion.
And that is so true. It's not rocket science. The ministry would always, and well, by extension in Tobago, the division, would always speak about funding. However, as I said earlier, these ministries are arms of the government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. And in our estimation, if it is that you have earmarked, or you can identify schools and a number of schools that need repairs, if you start the repairs before it mushrooms into larger issues, preventative measures, and take those necessary steps, then you wouldn't be faced in this situation. TTUTA will not stand for the politicizing of these issues. You're hearing the bantering and the back and forth of the political parties. We are not interested in that. We are interested in the education of our nation's children. We are interested in the health and safety of our members. And we are saying to the relevant ministries, the ministers who are in power at the time, these are issues that you can deal with, because, as you said, they will come up every year. And especially during the July-August vacation, where you have the opportunity, the time to really focus on some of these schools and get the repairs done. The government finds money for all sorts of issues. They need to find it for our schools.
Mr. Lumpkin, if you would allow me to refer to the minister's statement again. As indicated, I'm quoting her again, as indicated last week, before migrant children can enter schools, Immigration Division and the AG's office must work out the issue of student permits. That is ongoing, with a further meeting being held today, that was yesterday, September 4th. Until the law is adjusted, migrant children cannot enter our schools legally. The first cohort of students to be integrated and the receiving schools have already been identified. Once the legal arrangements are finalized, they will be registered. Mr. Lumpkin, if you'd allow me to really pick your brain as in connection with this matter. Are our schools, do you think our schools and our teachers, the system, it is ready for migrant children?
At this point in time, I am not confident, TTUTA is not confident that the schools are prepared for the integration of the migrant children. We have not seen, I have not seen evidence of the necessary training, the spaces that are required. One of the issues our system is facing right now is the recruitment of new teachers. And there are a number of schools, quite a bit of schools, who have vacancies, who do not have the requisite number of teachers. When you're speaking about that, then you're looking at the ratio of students to teachers. We are not confident that we have the number of teachers. Now, we don't even know which schools were identified. I know, though, that the Catholic Education Board of Management has been in the forefront in the issue of allowing migrant children. And the conversation we would have had with the board is that they would have done some training, and they have identified schools and even students who, potential students. So they are ready. However, the other boards, we are not sure if they are willing, and even in government schools.
And then you have the issue of the language barrier.
Yeah. So you have either the training of teachers, and we're not confident that teachers can break down that. There may be some who are bilingual, but the majority of teachers are not. And are you going to bring in resource persons who are going to assist in breaking down the barriers of the language and culture as well, too? Because, as you know, there are differences in culture that may affect the learning of both the migrants and our children.
Yeah. Mr. Lumpkin, as always, thank you very much for speaking with us this morning. We gave you a break yesterday, right? we allowed you to sleep late yesterday.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Can I say one more thing? One of the challenges as well facing a number of schools would be the procurement and the distribution of furniture. I told someone from the media that it's over a decade that some of the schools have not received, the majority of schools have not received furniture. And so when you're looking at the one new intake and in a number of secondary schools, the Ministry of Education over the last few years would have assigned more students than would normally sent to secondary schools. So you're sending more children at the school with the same amount of furniture or less, because as you know, these furniture have a lifespan. And when you don't have seating for these children, you are forced as administrators, educators, to find ways. And it's becoming unbearable now. And the Ministry of Education needs to provide furniture for our schools, because, as I said, it's over a decade. And then you have our teachers have been complaining about the excessive heat these days. And so they are asking the ministry to assist in getting equipment and fans. Air conditioning is another story because of the load on the electricity for some of the schools. You'll need rewiring. However, I want to say at this point, in terms of the heat, remind our educators that they should allow themselves and the students to be rehydrated even between the break periods, and that the principals utilize their discretion in dealing with the heat as well too. Yeah. But we need to look at the infrastructure as it relates to that as well.
All right. Again, thank you very much, Mr. Lumpkin.
You're welcome.
Have a good day. Yeah? All right, bye for now. Okay, we are going to a very short break. We are coming back.